Hey everybody, welcome to Nourishing She with Dr. Hannah. I'm Hannah, and today's practice is focused on the bones and the joints. So if you're dealing with arthritis, joint pain, tendinopathies, or bone and bone marrow issues, this practice is for you. So find somewhere cozy and let's get nourished. Okay everybody, we're going to begin with some breathing. We're going to stack our palm over our navel center and feel your breath filling your belly, allowing the belly to round outwards. And on each exhale, the navel makes a slow journey back to the spine. So breathing in, relaxing and allowing the belly and chest to expand. And then exhale, drawing the navel in towards the spine, emptying your lungs. And then visualize a white light descending down from the cosmos above and entering in through the crown of your head, down through the throat, the heart center, the solar plexus, the belly and sacral region, and all the way down to your root, the tip of your tailbone, and see that light shining down into the earth. And feel that you can breathe in this light. And as you breathe it in, you allow it to fill you. And as you breathe out, you feel that light circulating through you into the tips of your fingers and toes. Take a few more breaths here. Feel that light streaming in. Good, and you can relax and let your eyes open. We're gonna follow that up with awakening the spine. So bring your feet slightly wider than hip distance, and we're just going to begin to turn from the hips. And as we turn from the hips, notice that the arms follow. And so we're allowing the arms and the shoulders to be relaxed, shoulders dropping away from the ears. And then as we shift the weight and turn the hips, the arms will naturally follow. So feel your arms spiraling right and left. And let's continue those nice full inhales followed by those full exhales. So breathing deeply here, and we're going to start to bend at our elbows, and notice that as we bend at the elbows, our hands can land across our lower rib cage, front and back. Right in the back is where our kidneys lie. And so we're stimulating the function of the kidneys with that gentle tapping. Stimulating the organs of our belly with a gentle tapping at the front of our lower rib cage. And then we can bend at the elbows a little more and make a contact now at the upper chest and the shoulder blades in the back. Feeling your spine slowly awaken with this rotational movement. Feel that the lungs awaken through this tapping. And we're tapping on some important lung meridians here, which is helpful in this season of colds and illness. And then down to the lower ribs and kidneys. And we'll finish at the low back again, just allowing the natural momentum of the rotation to carry your arms into a swinging rhythm. Good. And then we can come to a stillness, relax. And we'll bring those arms into a cactus arms. And we're going to enliven the spine now. So breathing in, we can open the expanse across our arms, and then exhale. We bring those forearms together. So breathing in, the chest is lifted. We may look up. Breathing out, we round, chin to the chest. Moving with the rhythm of your breath. And notice here that as we breathe in and open, we can fill all the little spaces of our lungs. And as we round the spine, we can exhale fully. So coordinating the movement with the natural physiology of our bodies. And as we round, we can squeeze out the air and then relax and let it in. So in our seated culture, it can be very helpful and important to move the spine into its range of motion in all three planes of motion. Which reminds me, you can do all of these exercises today in a seated position if that's what your body is needing today. So feel free to take a seat whenever you need to. Good, and after that last inhale, we can relax the arms down, take a break, and we'll move into some shaking now. So with shaking, we just start bouncing at the elbows, just a little bounce of the arms, and we follow that with a bounce at the knees. So now the whole body is moving up and down. And this helps to really stimulate a good fluid flow through the body. So envision creating a fluid wave that runs from the feet, up the legs, through the pelvis and abdomen, gathering with the fluid wave from the arms up into the shoulders, and the neck and head draining down to meet at the collarbones, where we have our very important drainage sites of our thoracic duct. It's a part of the lymphatic system, and it drains into the venous system. So by shaking, we're gathering all of the interstitial fluid, any fluid that's escaped from our vascular system. We're gathering it back into the lymph vessels, which circulates it into our venous and arterial system once again. So really helpful for any kind of swelling, maybe extremity swelling or joint swelling. And remembering to find our breath here. Nice deep inhales, followed by nice deep exhales. Good, and then we can come to a stillness again. Relax, and I like to take a moment just to pause and notice the effects of these simple warm-up exercises on the body. Maybe feeling the effects of the movement of qi or blood flow, a little buzzing and tingling sensation through the arms and fingertips, and maybe elsewhere in the body as well. Okay, now we're going to start focusing in on those joints and tendons. But first I want us all to check something. So if you're able to maybe pause the video and then stand in front of the mirror, I just want us to check our range of motion of the shoulders and elbows and wrists. So particularly with the shoulders, what we're going to do is just bring our arms by our side, and then with a straight arm, see how far you can easily raise your arm. Okay, so as soon as you start meeting any kind of resistance, just make note of that angle and also the quality of motion. So we're looking at quantity and quality of motion. Quantity being the range, the degree at which you're able to raise the shoulder. And then quality might include things like, does it feel sticky or sludgy or clicking, right? Do you notice any clicks and ticks as you bring your arm up? So that's one thing. And then we're also going to check flexion extension at the elbow and at the wrist. So again, noticing the quality and quantity of motion and both sides as well. So once you've been able to do that, we're going to do something to tap out the stagnation. So we're going to do some tapping to tap out the stagnation, and we're going to focus in on a couple of key bony joint articulations of the shoulder, the acromioclavicular joint and the corticoclavicular junction. So we can find the corticoclavicular junction by following your collarbone out to the side, and then you'll notice it takes a small dive backwards, and just under there there's a soft spot, and that's where we want to focus our first set of tapping, right? So it's going to be approximately 2/3 of the way from your the inside aspect of your collarbone to the outside aspect. So about 2/3 of the way, and you'll drop down into the soft spot. You can make just a loose fist here, right? So this tapping is also known as loose fist pounding or chi massage. And all we're doing is a light tapping. So, you know, maybe just a 1/2 pound to 1 pound of pressure as we tap. And we want to think about the anatomy. So the coracoid process is a process. So it's a projection, forward projection from our scapula, our shoulder blade in the back. And it comes forward and then meets the collarbone with some ligamentous connection right in that area. And that can become stagnant and congested. And whenever we have stagnation, we're more prone to disease and breakdown. So we want to clear out that stagnant material and allow for the flushing in of fresh, new, vibrant energy, oxygen, and nutrients. And so we're going to tap. Remember to find your breath here. Speaking of oxygen, we do want to invite a full capacity of oxygen into our bodies so that it can circulate to these regions. And inviting, right, a flood of oxygen for healing and repair. So breathing deeply and fully. And then visualizing in your mind's eye this corticoclavicular joint. So even just saying it in your mind or posing the question, you know, where can I tap to find my corticoclavicular joint, right? And to send a healing vibration into that area. And it's amazing how the innate intelligence and wisdom of the body will guide your hand. So once we're done in that region, we're going to move to the acromioclavicular joint, which is now just at the very end of the collarbone. And we're going to tap kind of in front and on top. So similar loose fist pounding. My hand is relaxed but just curled in. We can think about sending a vibration into that joint space, and it's the vibration that's going to free up and clear any stickiness and stuckness. And so visualize again the acromioclavicular joint in your mind's eye. The acromion is a process, so a projection of the shoulder blade again that comes to up and forward, and then it meets our collarbone as we described. Good, and then we'll switch to the other side, and then we move down into that soft spot, make our loose fist, and do a little pounding or tapping, little chi massage. Clearing out stagnation, utilizing nice full breaths. And oftentimes what I'll find is, you might ask the question, how do I know when it's cleared, right? How do I know when it's done? Oftentimes the body will take a natural spontaneous inhale, a nice deep inhale on its own, kind of that like a sigh, right? It's giving a sigh of relief that that congested area has been cleared. Okay, and moving to that acromioclavicular junction now at the end of the collarbone, tapping in the front top aspect of the shoulder. And for joints that feel particularly congested, you're welcome to do this longer. So you could even do this 2 to 5 minutes in one region without over pumping, right? We don't want to necessarily over stimulate and clear out an area, because then the rest of the body might not be able to keep up. And so we want to just do just enough to get things moving, just enough. Okay. So let's check in again, maybe going back to your mirror and checking that range of motion. So raising the arms straight up. And what I notice is even after that little bit of tapping or chi massage, that I have an improved range of motion and there's less clicking along the way as I raise my arm. So that's pretty cool. And so we can continue this tapping into our elbows. So the elbow is made from the upper arm bone as it meets the ulna, which is the main part of the forearm, and then the radius is along the lateral side and is important in that rotational motion of our forearm. But we're just going to find the joint spaces which lie at the bend of the elbow. So we can tap on the inside of the elbow. And again, if you want to do this for longer, if you have particular elbow joint challenges, then you are welcome to do so. Otherwise, we can move to the lateral or outside aspect of the elbow joint. Finding your breath as we tap. And then we can come to the wrist. So very gently, very light. There's 8 tiny little bones that run across the wrist. They're in 2 layers, so 4 bones and 4 bones. And so there's a lot going on here. So in your mind's eye, try to visualize all those 8 little bones as they conjoin and articulate together, and see if you can direct some vibratory energy into all those little joint spaces. Then we can turn the wrist over and tap on the dorsal aspect of the wrist joints. And just kind of move back and forth. If you feel a particularly congested area, you can stay in that area longer. Otherwise, we'll move to our other elbow. Find that elbow joint at the bend of the elbow. Tapping on the inside and tapping on the outside. Finding that inner smile, knowing that our joints are going to feel happier after this practice. We come to our wrist. So again, 8 little bones coming across our wrist in 2 layers, feeding it healthy, healing, vibrational energy. Nice and gentle, especially if there's a particularly tender area. Feel free to go even more gently over that region. Right, we don't want to tap on any open wounds or sores. So keep that in mind. Good. And then, yeah, you can just check in even with that brief amount of tapping. Notice your joint motion. And then we'll move into the legs as well. So you can stand for this. For the hips, sometimes it's easier to access the hip when you're standing. And so the shoulders and the hips are the 2 joints that probably get the most congested out of our appendages, right? Our arms and our legs. And particularly this hip flexor region of our hip. And so we can tap into there. You can do open palm, or again, that loose fist, just curling the fingers lightly. Sending that vibratory force to enliven and awaken the joint spaces. So here we have the femoral head, so it's a ball and socket joint, just like the shoulder. Although we didn't work specifically with the ball and socket aspect of the shoulder joint. But in here we have the femoral head, which is a ball, and it sits in the socket of the acetabulum. And so that's the main joint that we're sending that vibrational energy to. And if it feels good to come to the lateral aspect, you can do that as well, or maybe even the posterior aspect. Then we can come to the other side. Usually one side is going to be more congested than another. So just take note of that. And then for the knees, you can take a seat. And then just like in the elbow, it's a flexion extension joint. So we can find those joint lines on the outer aspects of the knee and then tap in, right? So we can do both at once here. Tapping into that joint space. And moving to the other side. So again, you may want to spend more time on this if you have some knee challenges. I've easily spent 5 to 10 minutes in an area, but I don't suggest spending that long each time you practice. And then moving into the ankles. So the ankle gets into a more complex joint anatomy. but we're just going to find the malleoli, so the ankle bones that stick out on the sides, and tap into there. We have a joint space both on the top surface and bottom, I guess top aspect and bottom aspect of those bony bumps. And then switching, other side. All right, so, and then again, just taking a moment to pause and observe, noticing the effects of the tapping practice. And I noticed quite a bit of buzzing, particularly in my hands that did all that tapping, my hands and wrists. And you can feel that throughout your joints as well. Okay, so next we're going to, we want to restore fresh flow to those areas that we just opened up the congestion. So now we want to get that congestion to flow out of those areas. And we can do that through circulating qi, and it's a flowing motion practice. Breathe those arms in up to the chest, and then breathe them out, circulating the qi down the arms, breathing in, back to the chest, and now breathing out, we're going to circulate the energy down the leg, breathing in, circulate back up. So breathe out, press out down the arms, breathe in, back to the chest, breathe out, circulate down the length of the leg, breathe in, circulate back. So finding your own rhythm here. And entering into a state of flow. These flowing motions are a really nice opportunity to align body, mind, so our attention, and our breath. And as we coordinate body, mind, and breath, we awaken a connection to a deeper aspect of self, an aspect that we might call our eternal self. And it's that part of ourselves that is irrevocably well. So it doesn't get sick, it doesn't get injured, it doesn't have worries or confusion. It's always alive, rejuvenated, refreshed, and holds that part of ourselves that helps us to feel whole. So switching sides, we're going to step that foot in and now step the other foot out at a 45-degree angle. Breathe in the hands to the chest and breathe it out, circulating down the arms. Inhale to the chest and exhale down the leg. Inhale to the chest and again out the arms. So feeling that you're not only pumping and circulating our fluid, right? There's the physical, tangible, arterial and venous blood, lymphatic constituents, right? Even our nervous system has a neural glide. So we have all these movements and all these rhythms of the body. And then we have that aspect of ourselves that's coordinating all that movement. That's coordinating the health within through an innate intelligence and wisdom. And as we align body, breath, and mind, we tap into that wisdom. And we can feel the peace that it offers. Very good, and we can bring ourselves back to center. Observe the effects of this practice on our body, heart, and mind. Feeling an awareness of ourselves in space and in relation to the universe. Very good. All right, we're going to move into the last part of our practice, which I think is a very fun one. And this is where we get into tendon changing and bone marrow washing. So for this, you're going to need a little bit of space to extend the arms out and up and forward. And we're going to take the arms out in these various directions in 4 different ways. So the first is going to be pressing with our palms facing out. And then we're going to bring the hands into a bird beak position. And then we'll bring the hands into extended hands with the pinky, the hand moving towards the pinky side of the wrist. And then the last one is hands extended, moving towards the thumb side of the wrist. Okay, so let's get into it. So tendon changing practice. So similar to what we were, how we were breathing with circulating chi, we're going to breathe in those hands to the chest. And now as we exhale, we're going to press the hands wide, palms facing out. Right, so you may feel that activation already on the inside of your forearms. All right, and then on the inhale, we draw our hands back to the center. And then exhale, we press out, but now we're going to bring those hands into a bird beak position. So all the fingers come to a point alongside the thumb, and we point them down. So we really flex the wrist down, and then we can even, maybe that bird gets curious. So we can toggle the wrist one way and another, right? Feeling that activation along the outer arm now. I'm really feeling it in my right arm in particular. I know that's where I get more congested. So breathing in back to the center, and now breathing out, we're going to have palms face the floor, and we move the wrist towards the pinky side direction. So stretching the meridians along the thumb side of the arm. Breathe it back in, and exhale, press it out, palms face down, and now we turn the wrist to the thumb side. So breathing in, hands to the center. This time we're going to go straight ahead. So breathe it out, palms press out. Wrist is nice and extended here. Breathing in back to the center. Breathe it out. We're going to form a bird's beak. And maybe that bird gets curious, so it's going to look around, find the perfect stretch for you here today. Breathe it in. Exhale out. We're going to have palms face the ground again. Wrists move towards the pinky side. Breathe it in. Exhale out. Palms face the earth. We move to the thumb side. Good. Inhale, back to the chest. Exhale, we're going to press up now. So palms press up and away. Try to relax those shoulders down away from the ears. Breathing in, hands back to this chest. Breathing out, we press up and then form those bird beaks. Have those birds looking around. Breathing back to the center. Exhale, press. Palms are facing forward and we turn the wrist pinky side. Inhale back. Exhale out. Palms face forward. Move the wrist to the thumb side. Inhale back. We go one more direction. We're going to press down with our hands. Palms face the earth. Really extend those wrists. Breathing it back in. Exhale down and form those bird beaks. Breathe it in. Exhale it down. Palm's going to face towards you and we move the wrists to the pinky side. Breathing it in. Breathe it out. Palms face towards you and we move to the thumb side. Good. Breathing it in. Whoo, and breathe it out. Very nice. So that is our arm practice. Next we will do the legs. Okay, so make a little space. So this one always gets a little fun. So what we're going to do is the same as we did with the hands, but now with the feet. So when the hands pressed out, the foot is going to flex up so you can see the, right, almost like the palm side of the foot is like the palm of our hand. Okay, when the hand makes a bird beak, we're going to point those toes down. So flexing the foot down. When we turn to the pinky side, we're going to turn our foot to the pinky side. And when we turn to the thumb side, we're going to turn our foot to the big toe side, okay? And we're going to take it forward, back, out to the side, and in, okay? All right. Now, if you want to challenge your balance, you can do this practice without holding on, right? But have a chair or a wall handy, and if you want to hold on for the entirety of the practice, that is perfectly well. So let's begin. So stabilizing on the foot, and a pointer for being stable on our feet, on one foot, is to really feel like an extension of that foot rooting down into the earth, even down to the center of the earth, and then pick one point in front of you to focus on. So hopefully a stationary point. And we're going to lift up that leg, extend it out as we flex the foot up. So toes towards the sky. Good. And then with that breath, we're going to breathe it in, back to the center. And then as we breathe out, we're going to extend the leg and point the foot down. Breathe it in, back to the center. Exhale. exhale out. We're going to turn the toes to the pinky side. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Turn the toes to the big toe side. And breathe it in. Good. Let's go ahead and give our leg a break and switch sides. So standing on our other side now, we'll go to the front. So breathe in the leg up. Breathe out. We press and keep that foot extended. I have a little more challenge of balance on this side, and I'm going to put it to the test by trying not to hold on. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. We're going to point our foot. Point the toes down. Inhale back. Exhale. Move the toes to the pinky side. Inhale up. Exhale out. Move the toes to the big toe side. Inhale up. Good. And relax the leg. Good. You can shake it out at any time. Okay, going back to the first leg, we're going to breathe in, raise the leg. Now we're going to go in a backwards direction. So I'll turn to the side for you. So breathing it in, and then exhale. We're going to press back and the foot is flexed up. Breathing in, we raise it back. Exhale. We point the toes down, so bird's beak. Inhale it back up. Exhale, we press back and then turn the ankle towards the pinky side of the toes. Inhale back up. Exhale, we turn to the big toe side. Good. Inhale back up and shake it off. We'll switch sides. Inhale, leg up. Exhale, press back. Foot is flexed up. Inhale up. Exhale the foot back. Toes are pointed down. Inhale up. Exhale, press it back. Toes to the pinky side. Inhale back up. Exhale out. Toes to the big toe side. Good. Inhale and shake it out. We have two more directions. You're almost there. So standing on that initial leg, breathe it in. Raise up the leg, and then exhale. We're going to go out to the side. Foot is flexed up. Inhale back up. Exhale, point the toes. Foot is flexed down. Inhale back up. Exhale out. Move to the pinky side. Turn that ankle. Inhale back up. Exhale back out and move to the big toe side. Gets a little more challenging. Okay, so shake it off, switch legs. Inhale the leg up. Exhale, press it out. Toes pointed up. Inhale the leg up. Exhale it out. Point the toes. Inhale it up. Exhale, press. Turn the ankle to the pinky side. Inhale up. Exhale, press. Moving to the big toe side. Good, shake it out. My goodness, one more set here. You're doing great. Okay, so last one, we go to the inside. So breathing in, raise that leg up. Exhale out, we press, keep that foot flexed. Inhale it up. Exhale it out, point those toes. Breathing in. Exhale. Pinky side. Inhale. Exhale. Point to the big toe side. Right, so what we're doing here is activating all these meridian lines. We have the yin lines on the inside, yang lines on the outside, same for the legs. So doing great. Last one here. Okay, breathing in, lift up the leg, breathe it out. We're flexing the foot to the inside here. Breathe in. Exhale, flex the toes down. Breathe it in. Exhale, pinky side. Breathing in. And then exhale, big toe side. Good. Breathe it in and relax and shake it out. Congratulations. Well done for all of those who have followed to this point. I know that's a fun and challenging one. So we're going to close with some bone marrow washing now. And this is a nice one to recenter and feel ourselves in the present moment again after all that excitement. So with our arms, we're going to just reach out, up and around on the inhale. And then exhale, we move the hands down the center, feeling a cleansing and purifying effect into the marrow of our bones, bone marrow washing. So breathe in, circle the arms up. Exhale, cleansing and washing out through the marrow of our bones. Right, the marrow is the very inside of the bones. It's the red, right? It's red in color, and it carries the hemopoietic nature of our blood cells, right? It creates blood cells, and it also carries stem cells, which can change and respond in any capacity that they're needed, those stem cells. Right? And we want to recruit them when we need them. And so as we bathe into the bone marrow, we're clearing out any gunk, any heavy metals, anything else that's accumulated there, and we send it out to the earth. So we breathe in. Healing, vital energy that presses out and presses through the impurities of our marrow and clears it out to the earth. Refilling with clear white light and energy on the inhale. And exhale, pressing that through, clear to the center of our bones, the center of our very essence. Good, one more deep breath here. Exhale, purifying white light, pushing out all the impurities. Good, and just take another moment to find stillness and notice how you feel after this practice. And hopefully you can take this revitalized energy out into the world to do much good. Wishing you many blessings, and as always, do what nourishes.